Hello everyone, welcome to this year's Christmas video. Today we are going to listen while I am going to tell you stories about Christmas. So, yeah, I guess that's what we're gonna do. We have this winter wonderland going on for us today. Anyway, so let me just start with the stories. I would like to base the stories more on traditions or where Christmas and Christmas traditions take their origin, because I like history and I like to know things and I like to share things that I know. So that's what we are doing today. Anyway, I will start with the part that, of course, many of you may know already, that Christmas is based on many celebrations of winter solstice. Winter solstice. Okay, I hope I don't breathe in any of the sparkles. Anyway, so winter solstice happens on 21st, December 21st, 22nd, something like that. And it's the shortest day. So, longest night, the most dark, etc. etc. And many cultures celebrated something around this time a year, because since it was the shortest night and the shortest day and the longest night, that would mean that from then on the light would start to come back and the day would increase gradually. And so many cultures celebrated it as a renewal tradition, I don't know, resilience, renewal, a new start, etc. etc. And so, yes, that's why I would say Christmas is celebrated around this time of year. In any case, there's another tradition that has been translated to I don't know, to be an inspiration for Christmas and Christmas as traditions of Christmas. Okay, now this other celebration is Saturnalia. Saturnalia comes from Romans and it is dedicated, as the name indicates, to Saturn. Saturn was the god of agriculture and a few other things, but mostly it was related to just, I don't know, like having a good what was it called? Well, I had to Google it, but I found out. What I wanted to say is harvest. Okay, harvest. I was like, is it collection? Because in Portuguese it is a similar word. Anyway, you don't need to go through my tangents today. But yes, Saturnalia, it was all about the harvest, being grateful that, the land has provided, which in this case they thought that was Saturn, and so they would, I don't know, celebrate, eat food, eat the harvest, or enjoy the harvest, and give gifts, etc. So that is something again related to, or that we could in a way see a reflection on Christmas, because again during Christmas we do tend to exchange gifts and eat a lot of food, again food that is harvest from the year that is soon to be gone. And so yeah, that is also related as a tradition taken from a previous celebration into a Christmas celebration. Another celebration that was very much spread through the northern Europe, and I wanted to make a small informational note. Most of the traditions that I am going to talk about today are European. Okay, I'm located in Europe, and I would have liked to maybe learn a few other traditions that other continents had. This is before Christmas, right? Before celebrating Christmas. But if you are from other continents, please share with us all, I don't know, the traditions that you have in your country. If you know about any traditions that were based on previous pagan cultures, or something like that, we would appreciate it very much. So let me go back to what I was saying. So in the northern Europe, there was a celebration again around this time of year that is called Yule. Yule is also a celebration of, I don't know, many things. Harvest, things related to celebrating their gods, celebrating their people, and just in general having a good feast. It's said to last for at least a few days, even weeks, but people would gather and again eat a lot of food, celebrate their gods, and just in general. They would also have traditions like bringing evergreens, so pine tree, or Christmas tree, as everyone refers to it many times. It's an evergreen, and there are quite a few evergreens that we have around. They are not as spread perhaps as just usual, trees that shed their leaves for winter. But in any case, so Norse people would bring evergreens to again celebrate with some, I don't know, some color, some to celebrate their resilience and I don't know, something everlasting. And yes, of course, it is because these plants, these trees, and everything, they stay green no matter what. And I believe all cultures have this affection towards evergreens. I mean, I remember reading a story on how a laurel tree became an evergreen. Anyway, and laurel tree was quite important for Greek and Roman, again, their gods, their emperors used to be depicted, and of course the emperors and many other people were celebrated with crowns of laurel tree. Anyway, going back to evergreens. So yes, when I say Norse people, I mean probably Scandinavia and Germanic people. But yes, they had the evergreens that we can see now translated into the Christmas tree, which is a big part of decorations and just the overall Christmas spirit, because everyone likes the look of Christmas tree. Well, maybe not everyone, but I mean, for me, it's one of the a part of all the food, of course. It's one of the most enjoyable things from Christmas. It's Christmas tree decorated, so very nice. You know, lots of colors. I decorated my tree with this winter flowers, gold and red. I can put a picture of it. Anyway, so yeah, Christmas tree comes from that. Also, something else that Norse people used to do is burning a log in the fire. Of course, during all these feasts, they would burn or have a fire burning, and they used to put a like a, I don't know, celebrational. Anyway, I hope you know what I mean. A celebration, or like more like future viewing or predicting a log to burn into the fire, and with every spark that would jump from the log, that would mean a new harvest, a lot of new pigs and cows and horses and sheep, etc., which was something important to them at the time. And yes, so that's why we have the log now, that is translated in many cultures into, again, having the fire burning, having the fireplace on with the logs burning, or also into desserts. I know that in Portugal we have a lot of demand for the Christmas logs as the cake, of course. I know this because my mother owns a pastry shop, and I mean, she makes a lot of those during Christmas, besides the king and queen cake, which is a whole other story. But yes, just to say that the log, the burning log, and also the log translated into the dessert is very popular during Christmas, at least in places that I have been. So yeah, and yeah, I would say that even now many Nordic countries still call, I think, like Denmark and maybe Norway. I'm not quite sure if anyone else, but still call Christmas Yule. So yeah, please do correct me if I'm wrong. If we have someone from the Nordic countries watching this, please let us know. Anyway, but that's not the only thing that comes from celebration of Yule, because Yule, as I said, was dedicated to all the Norse gods, and the father of all gods was Odin, and supposedly during this time of year, during Yule, during short days and long nights, you could see the armies of Odin and himself riding the sky. I think that this comes from the Nordic lights, or the Nordic lights? No, the Northern Lights, or auroras. My gosh. Anyway, but yes, I do think that they would see the Northern Lights, since the nights were so long, and again, I would say that could seem like an army of, I don't know, light bearing people or gods, looking like people, riding horses with 8 legs. Anyway, yes, so Northern Lights could potentially, if you have a very open imagination, could potentially look like an army of, again, light people riding the sky. But Odin and his horse, which name is something spa. Wait a minute, I'll Google it again. Okay, I Google it, and the name of the horse is Sleipnir. Anyway, from my mind, it's not an easy name to remember. I've heard it several times, of course, during all of my research and documentaries about Nordic gods and all of that mythology. But again, Sleipnir is an 8-legged horse, which supposedly is also a son of Loki, and Loki is the mother. Seriously. Anyway, so Sleipnir and Odin would ride on Sleipnir, which had 8 legs again, he would ride the skies, and during Yule, children would leave small gifts, such as food, etc., for Sleipnir, so he could snack on them, and therefore the Odin would be grateful and would give them gifts back. So again, Odin being visualized as this father figure, again probably with long hair, long beard, etc., riding this horse with 8 legs, riding in the sky, something that could be translated into many things that we use for Christmas. So Santa's sleigh, the reindeers could potentially again look like what's his name again? Sleipnir. Sleipnir, because my brain works in a way that I have to, like, I don't know, like create an associations of sound. I don't know how to explain it, but that makes it easier for me to remember things. And Sleipnir, like slipe. There's no other slipe. Like what I in my brain I can't find another word that would have even similar sound. Anyway, I'm going on another tangent that nobody needs. So yeah, reindeers, Sleipnir in the past, flying in the sky, the sleigh flying in the sky with Santa, Odin as the father figure, again beard, long hair, etc., etc., could be translated into the Santa Claus. Yeah, and again the presents, right, that children would leave food for the horse, Sleipnir, and Odin would reward them for the food for his horse, and would give them gifts, again just as cookies that we supposedly leave for Santa, who likes cookies, and gives us gifts in exchange for cookies and good behavior, of course. Anyway, but something, it's a small detour still related to Christmas, okay? So yeah, I always I mean, there are many questions on where, of course, in this case, we are inspiring Santa Claus from Odin. Of course, there are also many, or at least enough indication that Santa Claus is also based on Saint Nicholas. Claus, I don't know. But Saint Nicholas is not celebrated everywhere in Europe. Actually, when I grew up, most children were much more excited about Saint Nicholas Day in comparison to Christmas, because even though we received gifts on both days, most of the gifts that were brought by Santa Claus were like oranges, cookies, sweets in general, chocolate. But Saint Nicholas would bring like substantial gifts, okay, like dresses and shoes and nice sweaters and coats and mittens and I don't know, all kinds of more substantial gifts. And he would leave them underneath the pillow. So on it's usually on December 6th, and during the night on December 5th, we would go to sleep, and when we woke up, there would be gifts underneath our pillows. And that was Saint Nicholas, a very, very nice person. Yes. Anyway, but yes, so Saint Nicholas is supposedly a real person that existed once, who saved a lot of children and was kind, etc., etc. And therefore, yeah, he was also included or named as saint. But again, in Portugal, for instance, in Germany, people also celebrate the Saint Nicholas Day, but in Portugal, we don't. And again, also the difference about the names. So in English, we say Santa Claus, right? And in Portuguese, we say Pai Natal, which means Father Christmas. And for instance, in, I don't know, Ukraine, Russia, Slavic languages, we call him Ded Moroz, which means grandpa, cold, frost, frost, grandpa frost. So the names are quite different. Also, I don't know how is it now, but I used to celebrate Christmas on January 7th, which is the Orthodox, excuse my French, yes, Orthodox date for the celebrations. The difference is because of the calendars, the old calendar, the Julian calendar, and Gregorian calendar. Is it Gregorian? I think so. Anyway, but it is related to popes who decided back many years ago changing calendars. Part of the church changed, part of the church decided to stay, and that's why there are usually 2 weeks of difference on May celebrations, some stuff like Christmas, Easter, and a few other things that are common between these ramifications of Christianity or Christian celebrations, like let's say it like that. Anyway, so Santa Claus has a different name everywhere we go. If you call Santa Claus something else in your country, please do let us know. I mean, I'm curious about it. I would like to learn more, and yeah, I feel like all of us could know a bit more about each other's cultures, and it would bring us a slightly closer together. But let's go back to the stories. So pretty. So there is another celebration from Romans or from Roman time, and it's called Sol Invictus, which is unconquered sun, unconquered Invictus, something like that. And it was a celebration actually specifically on December 25th. And it was a celebration of, again, unconquered sun, which is the revival of sun. Again, related to many previous pagan traditions. All right, so before Romans, spread their influence around Europe, many pagan cultures already celebrated the revival of sun, right? Stuff related to winter solstice, etc., etc. But on this day, so December 25th, Sol Invictus was very much celebrated as a renewal. Again, something related with a start of new life, new year, and the growth of light, or something like the victory of light over darkness, which again was a celebration, because I would say that I don't know, I mean, obviously darkness or night being so long brings a lot of negative effects even on us now. Because of our mood, it's always dark, etc., etc. I feel like I'm always sleepy, like seriously. I wake up in the morning, it's dark. I don't wake up that early, but still, if it's a cloudy day, which where I live most of the times it is, so it's dark when I wake up. It's dark, like, I don't know, after 5 hours, 4 p.m. is night already again, and all I want to do is sleep and eat. The end. So I have no I mean, for me there are no surprises that people would put so much importance of sun coming back from his death, let's say death, because obviously on winter solstice the darkness would win, and after that the light would supposedly fight back, and that's why Sol Invictus, or sun unconquered, Invictus, invincible, invincible. Anyway, you know what I mean. So that is that. I mean, for me, since there is documentation that this specific holiday was celebrated on this day in specific, for me it's very reflecting on where the date was borrowed from, as all the other things that we are talking here today. But anyway, let's continue, and we will continue with something very festive, and it is singing. So we have a lot of Christmas carols, and it is something that we see reflected in all cultures. People like to sing during this time, and I believe that it could be related, again, a source of entertainment for the long night celebration as well. But in terms of historically speaking, there are records that say that Anglo-Saxon people used to chant and dance and do all kinds of I don't know, celebrational, artistic expressions, music, dance, singing, etc. And all of it was for harvest, of course. They wanted a good harvest, for it to be protected, for having, again, enough food and good health, etc. etc. I mean, I can see how during those days, that is, I mean, even nowadays, having enough food, having good health, etc. etc. Is very important to our well-being and happiness, etc. So I can see how all of that dedication and singing would be done during this time and probably during other times. I know that in countries like Ukraine, there are a lot of songs for during period times of harvest. I mean, people used to and still plant a lot of wheat, and wheat was very important for at least that region of Europe. And so there are songs for different times: when the wheat is planted, when the wheat is collected. People would sing to make the work easier as well. And again, it was something that I would say there's an inspiration here from the same goal. They would sing to entertain them while they were working, but also probably to, I don't know, it was like a chant, like a kind of chanting for the gods, for the god, for the nature, to bless them with a good harvest. And that's why we also have carols, especially in terms of I don't know, when the carols are being sang. It's definitely not sang. My language is not languaging. I promise we are almost there. Anyway, but yes, a lot of carols, a lot of songs. I mean, something that we can associate with Christmas is dedicated Christmas songs. All I want for Christmas is you. I hope that doesn't get me demonetized. Anyway, please, Mr. YouTube, nobody was singing. It was just a very, very scary noise that someone was doing. Anyway, but I have a story, and even though this is a slight deviation, it is still about Christmas. So, going back to my very, very young childhood. Okay, so I believe this is one of my first memories that I can recall, although I can't say it's a clear recollection of that moment. It is probably me dreaming about it again and again afterwards, but still, I have this memory, and it is a memory of during Christmas. My parents always went to my grandparents' house. And yeah, one of the Christmases, they were walking back home and they met a group of people that were caroling. Again, where I am from, these groups of people used to dress up like carnival style, right? You could wear something fancy, you could wear something like, again, but something, again, carnival-like. But there were a few mandatory, okay, parts of this group. So they always had to be an angel and there always had to be a demon. So the angel wearing, you know, what angels wear, whatever it is, and demon, a goat looking person, yeah. And again, when my parents were walking, my father used to tell this story a lot of times. So he was carrying me, and yeah, they met this group of people, and the demon scared me, the bejesus, scared the bejesus out of me, that I jumped so hard that my father almost could not hold me back. Anyway, and I used to have nightmares about that. I do not remember specifically like what kind of, I just remember, I mean, obviously it was night. I don't know, I probably was sleepy because I was very young. This is me probably at maybe 3 years old, so we are talking very young. And I don't have like many memories from like earlier than me being 5 years old. Like I have like core memories. I remember I hated going to the kindergarten. People used to bully me there. This is a Christmas video, okay? Let's keep it positive. Anyway, but yes. And that tradition, again, is something that we see reflected here in Germany and a few other countries, which is Krampus. Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of demon I'm talking about. So, anyway, turning around to something positive and something plant related are other things. So we have the tradition to make wreaths and include these plants as well during Christmas, which is holly and ivy. Holly and ivy comes from, again, pagan cultures because they had a reflection on fertility and, again, being evergreens, perseverance, resistance, and all of that. Eternal youth, no. Yes, but holly was related to the masculine side, masculine fertility, and ivy was related to feminine fertility. I don't know too much in details on why, but yeah. Anyway, but again, many pagan cultures kept those plants at very high regard, and during winter solstice celebrations they used to use these plants as well and make wreaths and again stuff that we could potentially see reflected as in all the things that we use during Christmas now. Of course, we could not make it through the entire video without a play, but I will consider myself lucky today because there are not, this is the first play, so there we go. Anyway, but ending on something again still positive and related to plants is mistletoe. Mistletoe is used for kissing, right? And yeah, so back again during pagan times, a mistletoe was considered a very much sacred and used in very in a lot of rituals, etc. Traditions of pagan people. And it is related to vitality, again, fertility, etc., etc. So it has been translated to another small, I would say it is mostly, I mean, you don't see mistletoe in Portugal, seriously. Or I don't know, Slavic countries as well. We don't have that tradition. If you stand underneath the mistletoe, you must kiss. Anyway, but for all of you that have this tradition, yeah, keep in mind that you are standing underneath a plant that our ancestors used to consider sacred, used to use it for, again, rituals, things that, I don't know, were important to them. So give that person that is with you underneath that mistletoe a really good kiss, because that's very important, okay? Anyway, but that concludes my short stories about things where and traditions where we were inspired, and the I don't know, the collective things where Christmas takes its origins and traditions from. I think it is an interesting point to consider, right? I don't want to go too much into it, but I still wanted to share with you how all different cultures and different traditions, different religions, and things that people again came together to join this all these small things into one tradition of celebration of Christmas, but also to remind us all that things that were important to all these different people and all these different cultures were to stay healthy and celebrate that the light is coming back. So on that positive note, I wanted to thank you all for I don't know, being here with me, listening to my stories. As I said at the beginning of this video, I like to know things, and I like to share things that I know with people. I think sometimes with a bit of patience and curiosity, we can cure a lot of bad mood and misunderstanding. So, I wanted to wish you all, if you are celebrating, a very, very Merry Christmas with lots of enjoyment and good time, if not with your family, with your friends, or alone. Wherever you are, with whomever you are, I hope you enjoy a lot of good food and again, a lot of warmth and good time. And yes, this concludes my ramble today. So I guess I will see you soon.